interest and build a diverse talent pipeline that is of significant quality in any place they find themselves. That's particularly important for our Black and Brown communities who disproportionately have lower rates of college completion than the mainstream. There are many students who come to Delaware State University to literally change their economic and career trajectory for themselves, their families, and their communities. I'm a product of a teenage mom and a father who never finished the 11th grade. To be able to have the opportunity to go to college, to change my family's life circumstances, has meant the world to me and my family. And I know I see students every day who come from those circumstances. So our ability to make sure that they have that same chance and can do that in a responsible way is not only a vocation, it's an avocation. And it's why HBCUs are so important in America.
To our faculty, staff, students, alumni, and stakeholders, first of all, I want to say happy holidays. What a year. We have remarked throughout this time that we are living in an unprecedented moment, one that will forever change us for the better. I am proud to be ending my first year as the president of what I think is the finest institution in America, Delaware State University. And in that year, I have looked at the opportunity in front of us. And I do think it was an opportunity, daunting as it may seem. As the moment where Delaware State University can showcase itself and lead the way for ourselves, for our university community, and for everybody who believes that HBCUs are still some of the most relevant organizations in the country. Delaware State is a proud heritage. You already know that. But think about what happened. In March, COVID-19 hit us. And when it did, quite frankly, I didn't really quite know what to do, except for pray. But with our staff, our faculty, our board of trustees, and so many people rooting us on, we not only got through, we thrived. Think about it for a moment. In 5 days, almost 1,500 courses transitioned from in-person to online. In 5 weeks, raising money for our Student Emergency Relief Fund, $1.5 million, much of which came from our alumni. In 6 months, think about what we have been able to do with our world-class partnership with Testing for America. 35,000 tests administered, 35,000, and less than 0.5% positivity rate. I've had the opportunity to represent this wonderful institution of ours this year on CNN, the Today Show, Good Morning America. And I know that every time I had that opportunity, it was not about me. It was about us, about those facility staff that keep our campus clean. It was about our faculty who worked through a very unusual time to make sure they were giving proper instruction to our students. It was about our students who persevered in a significant way, brought us to our best retention figures in the history of the university, kept enrollment at the same levels it was a year ago, and every day knew that it wasn't quite convenient, wasn't quite what they were used to, but knew they were going to make it to the finish line. And I might also add, they weren't shy about making sure the university got better too. I remember sitting down with the SGA early in the summertime and them having some specific demands, one of which was to build a Black Lives Matter Boulevard. Think about that. Our student body, in the midst of the coronavirus, everything going on for themselves, their communities, their families, they came back to school making sure that we held ourselves accountable to the same core values we deeply believe in. And they built that Black Lives Matter Boulevard. And in this moment, think about what that has meant. From George Floyd to Breonna Taylor, just this year alone, 164 Black men and women have fell fate to interactions with law enforcement. And our students said, we can do better. Not only did they build Black Lives Matter Boulevard, they actually started engaging with our law enforcement right here on campus to set a tremendous example. Our staff, I've already talked about facilities, but just think about how we're communicating this year. Before this year, we never did a video forum. Now we're above 30 of them. One of the primary ways for me to communicate with you all and for us to not only keep you updated on what's happening at the university, but also to talk about the issues of the day. Because you know our motto, enter to learn and go forth to serve. And as I've said to our Board of Trustees, particularly my dear friend and chair, Dr. Devonna Williams, when you start to speak into the moment, people begin to invest in you. Think about this. Our faculty has been awarded more than $22 million in research grants just this year. We have had major investments from the likes of Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase, Delmarva Power, Barclays, and the list goes on and on. So much so that I'm pleased to announce that we've raised more private dollars this year than ever before. And let me tell you, we have a special surprise coming that I believe will blow your mind before the end of the week as well. I want you to be proud of Delaware State University's legacy, but I also want you to be energized about where we are going. I said at the start of my tenure, I wanted us to be the most diverse, contemporary HBCU in the country. My friends, we're there, but there's a lot of room to grow. And when I think about things like the acquisition of Wesley College and our ability to return back to the spring semester with even more students than the fall, and our diagnostic testing facility, where Newcastle County awarded us $5 million to really get in the game and help fight COVID-19 throughout our state. I know that we are doing all the right things that will propel us forward, built on a strong 130-year foundation. And might I add, you all know what just happened on November 3rd. More than 155 million Americans voted. And while that was divisive and sometimes contentious and sometimes just plain weird, we have a president-elect with a renewed American vision. And when the electors met yesterday here in Delaware, 3 of them, for the first time in our history, they met on Delaware State University's campus. My friends, we're going places, and we're doing it together. I'm going to say that one more time. We're doing it together. I get to make lots of great promises, tell the Delaware State University story in many different venues. But what I depend on is you delivering on that promise. Our ability to engage with our customers, our primary customers, our students and their families, and to be civil to one another, and to build capacity to grow in responsible ways is who we are. And that's what we're going to have to show from now and forevermore. You know why? Because students like Destiny, an early college high school student who is now at Delaware State University, just as we intended, they're depending on us. They know that our institution can literally change their professional and economic trajectory for themselves, their families, and their communities. And I don't know about you, but I don't know a better place to be or a better group of people to be working with to be doing just that. So today, we probably won't be that long, but what I wanted to do is first introduce the Board of Trustees Chairwoman, Dr. Devonna Williams, who I spend many days with talking about how we can get better and how we can deliver resources to get better. I can tell you, top of this university, your university trustees not only believe in the mission, they are focused on the mission. In every aspect, are we delivering for our students? Are we taking care of each other? Are we making the right decisions in the key moments in time? And are we doing it in the Delaware State University way? Madam Chairman, welcome. Thank you for all you're doing. And say hello to our crowd.
Well, hello, and thank you, President Allen. It is wonderful to be here. I cannot believe we've gone through, but it has been a tremendous ways, and it is just a blessing. It really is a blessing for me, a calling for me to be able to be with the Board of Trustees, to be the spine institution, and to have you here of Delaware State University.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Tell me about what has made you most proud about the university this year.
Well, there are so many things. There's so many things, President Allen, but the big things that really stand out to me, it's the ability that we have as an institution. I think because of our founding, because of the history and the legacy of Delaware State University, you know, we know how to make it with resources. We know how to make limited resources and also limited supporters. We've understood that we have to look internally be problem solvers. And I think what I'm most proud about in this last year is the way we pulled together internally, drawing on each other's strength and the values to be problem solvers. And we've demonstrated that we're adaptable, we're flexible, we listen to the community, that take feedback, that we're willing to change and course correct as we've gone along. And I think that's a big thing. That to me means everything. And you know, as a board, we have a philosophy too. Our board of trustees believes in being transparent. We believe in working in collaboration with our president. And number one and foremost, that students mean everything to us. And so we want the student experience to be the best that it can be, and the quality of education to be the best that it can be. And everything else kind of flows around that. And so what I'm so proud about this year is the fact that we have that continuity. When I talk with my peers at other universities, other chairs of boards of trustees, so many of them had to pull all their students off campus. So many of them had problems with testing this year. So many of them had had disruptions in their academic experience, that they actually had closed campuses. Who didn't experience that? And I tested the leadership of President Allen and our senior administrative team. It really works as a team to solve problems and innovate. And that's shown across the range of work that's done. And because of that, I believe we've been able to track high level energy, community engagement in a way like we've never done before.
You know, Madam Chair, I thank you for that, because I really do think it's been a tremendous team effort. And I think those who really know the higher education landscape is when you have a supportive board of trustees working in collaboration with your senior team, it makes a world of difference, particularly as it relates to empowering everybody at the university to be better. I want to switch a little bit, because you and I had this conversation early. I know you lost some people very close to you as a result of the COVID-19 virus. So did I. And we have talked on any number of occasions this year just about mental health and taking care of ourselves. We spend a lot of time on our students, and we know that they are going through some challenging times too, but it's not lost on any of us, particularly our chairwoman, who has a lot of expertise in this area, that being able to take care of ourselves in this particular time is really, really important. And sometimes we're pushing so fast, so hard, we don't step back and look at each other and say, are we good? Do you need anything? Is there a listening ear? Are there any resources we can provide? I just want you to talk a little bit about why that's so important, and two, how we are really thinking through how to do an even better job of this as we try to get through this crisis.
Yeah, I think you hit on probably the most important thing that we can do, which is self-care. And when you think about, all had experiences of an airplane. You have to on the airplane, they tell you the oxygen comes down first, that's on yourself first, and then the person next to you, particularly if you're traveling people, because you can't help anybody else if yourself are not safe. And so our personal health and mental health right now is very fragile, because people have different levels of coping and different skills in coping and different abilities to cope. And everyone in a different situation. And so empathy is the biggest thing that we can do for one another. We have to take care of ourselves, which means you have to listen to yourself and how you're feeling, understand what you might be stressed about. This is a stressful environment. We've got at least 5 major crises that are happening around us that we've experienced collectively. Our families have experienced, and some of us have had major tragedies and major losses during this time. But we're still trying to manage on a day-to-day basis. We still have to, get up every day, go to work, go to school, try to make things happen and survive and manage within our situation. So we have to take care of ourselves. We have to listen to our bodies. We have to take time to exercise. We have to eat right to the extent that we can. We have to manage our stress levels. And we do that by making sure that we have support from other people too. So you have to have your support network. You've got to have your friends, your classmates, your family, people that you're close to. Reach out, check in. President and I, we have check-ins about at least once a week, where we just check in and we say, hey, how are you doing? How are you really doing? How are you feeling? How's your family doing? Because everyone's situation is different. And I know working with my clients, people have lost daycare throughout this crisis, and everyone's working from home, and they're fighting for internet time and Wi-Fi time and space to work, how they're working, and they're working at home. But overall, people are doing very, very well. We're learning how to be adaptable, and we've built and developed new skills. And so as we're going through this period, we can all ask ourselves, what have we learned about ourselves during this time? And is there a strength that we've identified within ourselves that we know when all these crises are or through, especially the pandemic, that we can continue to carry on? Have we increased our empathy skills for working with other people? Did we understand now? Did we take the time to ask our coworkers, our family members, our neighbors, how are you doing? How are you feeling today? Are you okay? Can I help you? We are better ourselves as we do those things. And can we continue those after this crisis pandemic is over, maybe hopefully by next year sometime? And how we learn new things, skills, other skills we can use, how to be innovative, how to be more flexible, how to be more adaptable. But when you find yourself feeling stressed and feeling down about what's not working, what hasn't gone, look at what you gained during this period. Look at what you've learned about yourself. And if you think about it, take a moment and write it down. It'll be something that you're now you can look back and say, wow, this is what I learned, this is what I discovered, this is who I am, this is the type of person I've become, this is the type of character I've built. When you do that, this whole mental health problem that we have, we feel stressed, we feel lost, we feel that we haven't done anything or we're not connected. You can connect that way. Do that and share that with your friend. Share it with your sister, your brother, or your best friend, or your mother, father, or whatnot. And they'll just share to cause people to think. And it'll help that, we can do some healing as we go forward. I could go on and on about this, but this is so important. Because if you're not feeling it all together, health isn't there all together here, and here, head and heart. It's a head and heart, right? That's not together. It's hard to be real successful whether your studies or at work. Right? So we got to take care of ourselves and then take care of those who are around us.
When you say head and heart, that makes me think a great deal about this particular moment and why a place like Delaware State University is so important. Because obviously, we're trying to educate great minds to take on the day in their chosen disciplines, but we want them to do it with real heart. And I've been actually very enthused, particularly with our students, around how they've taken some bold action. So some of which might have been hard for them to do because they wanted to make the university better and they didn't quite know how I might respond to that. But when I see a responsible demonstration or a new review committee that we've established around our Title IX issues that's going to include students and administration on the side, I actually take heart in that because I feel like, one, we always can get better. And the only way we do that is together. So while we might have competing interests or competing thoughts on a different view, I believe everybody's heart at Delaware State is in the right place.
Yeah, I think you make a great point too. And when you can feel the heart, when you feel the heart, and you know that you really reach at some level internalized values, and that's where you can make real change happen. That's where you can make real transformation. And so you're reaching people's hearts, and you're changing lives. We're changing. Students are stepping up. We're all doing things we never expected we could do, but we're doing them with purpose, with heart. And that always makes me think of authenticity. It's not like the certain people that say you're just doing it because you're going to check it off the list. Okay, I did that, and now I'm moving on. It's deeper than that. When it has a deeper meaning, that's tied to the heart and authentic. And that ties to our values of who we are, who you are. And that's where we can really make those close connections.
Amen. Well, one final question for you before we turn it over to our audience. And it's probably an unfair one, but I want you to think about 2021. Let's put 2020 behind us as best we can do as we enter the holidays. What is your greatest hope for Delaware State University in 2021?
Wow, that's a big question, but my greatest hope is that we can all reconvene on campus and that our institution will continue to grow and flourish. I have seen I see I lost connection there. I said that my biggest hope is that our state university can continue, but that we can all meet on campus and see one another and really show our appreciation for one another. We've been so fortunate, and I believe, to have emerged as a leader in so many areas of crisis and turmoil that we've been through. And I'm just so looking forward to being able to celebrate oneness with each other by seeing each other on campus and be together. That's my biggest hope. But that's really my biggest hope, and then continue to grow as a university.
Yeah, I think we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Yes. Brother McMillan, if there are any questions or comments out there, and for the audience today, even if you don't have questions, even if you want to comment on what you're thankful for or how you're thinking about the holiday season, we're open to anything in the next couple of minutes here. Brother McMillan?
Well, there's one question, and it has to do with the 3 electors onto the campus. And the question says, were they allowed to be on campus without a COVID test?
Nope. They all had a COVID test. They followed all of our safety protocols. You should know that the Secretary of State is the one responsible for the Electoral College here in Delaware. That is Secretary Jeff Bullock, who's a dear friend of the university. And he asked us probably about 3 or 4 weeks ago if we would host it. I said it would be our honor. And we followed all the protocols. We know that we kept our campus safe, and we know that are in line with the best science and medical professionals that are out there.
Okay. That's it, Dr. Allen. Nothing else.
Okay, well, I won't belabor the point. I want to say thank you to my friend, Dr. Devonna Williams, for all that you've done leading our board of trustees during this very difficult time, and the way you've done it, again, both with your head and with your heart. I want to thank our faculty. I can't tell you enough what it has meant to me that you have been able to adapt in this moment. And what I hope mostly is that, as Dr. Williams always says, that we don't return to normal. We return to something better. And I think we've learned some things about what something better might look like. To our staff, our tremendous staff, I hope you, one, recognize that whether you're downstairs on the first floor or in human resources or over in facilities or on our athletics staff, wherever you are, our great medical professionals led by Dr. Fisher, our incredible student life organization, wherever you are on this campus, recognize that not only were you given significant pressure to do some things no other university really has done before, you did it well. You did it well. And remember that doing it well is not about a moment, it's about a culture. And our culture is going to continue to improve and focus on all of the right things that we know to be successful. To our alumni, I have literally spent hours upon hours with almost every alumni chapter in the Delaware State family, and it has been my deep honor. I can assure you that my goal every year is to make sure I get around to every alumni chapter at least once in the year and spend some time not only telling our story, but hearing what you think we can do better. That is our responsibility. It's my honor to do that. I also want to thank you for getting even more involved than you ever have been in this wonderful university of yours. To our stakeholders, thank you for investing in Delaware State University. Remember what I always say, only 3% of all colleges and universities are HBCUs. We still are graduating nearly 25% of all Black professionals in the country. So we punch above our weight and we deliver. And we thank you for believing that and investing in us. And finally, and most importantly, to our students, it's all about you. We're not here without you. And our recognition of that grows more and more important every day. And I would argue is highlighted by the advent of COVID-19. We know we needed to change our pedagogy. We know we needed to change what we were able to deliver for you. We know we needed to listen to you and respond in kind about the things that you think are important. And we know we have to continue to do that to get better. And you're proving why. I know many of you are succeeding beyond your wildest dreams. But let me tell you, it's not beyond our wildest dreams. We already knew you were great. We just want that greatness to come out and show up every day in every way. And finally, before I close, I just want to take a moment of personal privilege and thank God for my Tara. The love of my life is always beside me, always urging me on, loves her Delaware State University women's basketball team, and is going to be an incredible First Lady for Delaware State University. I just want to close by saying happy holidays. Get some rest. Enjoy time with the ones you love. Do that safely. And when you return, recognize that it's game on again, because we will continue to show the world just who we are. Thank you for joining. Good job, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Same to you. Are we off? Okay.
Yeah, recording stop.
Okay. You had one chat from.
Stop, hold up, please. Hold up, please. Andrea, can we go into, are we ended?
Not yet.
Okay, let's end, please.